Yo, what's good, guys? It's Joshua Baptiste, and and from the title of the video, you're probably asking yourself, "What? What? How? How would the Warriors have a all star lineup? Like all five players in their starting lineup would be a all star or a former all star?" And I'm gonna tell you that right now. So So in the 2006 uh, NBA draft, the Warriors, as we all know, they were still a rebuilding team, a team that was if they weren't out of the playoffs, they would be an eighth, seventh seed, somewhere close to there. And in the 2006 draft, the Warriors, with the ninth pick, because they had the ninth pick in the draft, they selected um, they selected Patrick O'Brien, a shooting guard. And they passed up on point guards Kyle Lowry and power forward Paul Millsap. And we all know both of them turned out to be all stars, Kyle Lowry and Paul Millsap. But I just thought that Paul Millsap would make more sense because they would already have Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry, so there would be no need for that. And this is kind of like a what if scenario in a way, kind of like a what if scenario, but not really, but in a way, technically yes. And as we all know, in the 2009 draft, the Timberwolves, they passed up on Curry with Johnny Flynn, Ricky Rubio. And the Warriors selected Curry with like the seventh pick in the draft. 2011, they snagged up Klay Thompson. 2012, they got Draymond Green. So those guys alone are three all stars. And Paul Millsap, if he was drafted in '06, he was waiting for a few seasons. As a young player with a lot of potential, he was waiting a few seasons for some help. And as we all know, the Warriors, they had the big three, the championship and all of that. But how would Paul Millsap really affect all of that? Because they had a chance to get Paul Millsap in the 2006 NBA draft. As we all know, they passed up on him. And there's a lot of other questions besides the impact Paul Millsap would have. How would they have chemistry with each other with Paul Millsap? And in 2016 free agency, would they even have enough cap space to even attempt to get Kevin Durant? Not just to sign Kevin Durant, just to like attempt to get Kevin Durant. And I say, and as we know, we don't know if all of them would have become all stars, especially in the Western Conference. You know how hard it is to become all stars in the Western Conference. But Paul Millsap, he is still technically an all star. He's a former all star, as we all know. Paul Millsap, he's an all star. And he has playoff experience. I think that the Warriors, I personally think that with the addition of Paul Millsap, the Warriors, they could like expand their lineup. Like they can flex out their lineup by a lot. They could, I know Draymond is 6'7", but even though that Paul Millsap is taller than Draymond Green, Draymond, for their really small ball lineup, maybe have Millsap at the 4 and Draymond at the 5, things like that. And I mean, I think it would affect a lot of things. I mean, with Curry, he would probably still have one MVP, but would Curry have all of the unanimous MVPs and all of that? Man, you gotta think about it. And it changes a lot of stuff with the Warriors, knowing that they have a player that is versatile, that can probably play three positions, and that's Paul Millsap, small forward, power forward, center, who is capable at least to play at least three positions. And I would list a small forward would they even think about getting Andre Iguodala? Would Harrison Barnes, would he stay? Would he leave? Would Iggy decide to leave? There's just a lot of questions. You know, if the Warriors decided to draft Paul Millsap, I mean, would the We Believe Warriors would they go farther than they did, even to the Western Conference Finals? Would they go farther than what they did on Paul Millsap? There's just a lot of things. With Draymond knowing that Paul Millsap is going to play power forward, would Draymond get the minutes enough to be able to develop into the All Star and the Defensive Player of the Year that we know Draymond to be? Paul Millsap, that team. I'm not saying Paul Millsap's a ball hog, but in his past years he has a high usage rate, usually the highest usage rate on his team for that season. I think it would change a lot of things for the Warriors organization. But the most important thing, skip all of the players and the MVPs and the defensive player of the years, and all of that. I think the Warriors, I think they would have a three-peat. I think that Paul Millsap, plus with the big three that we know them to be, I think that that's enough to beat the Cavs. Especially we had a lot of things. Maybe Paul Millsap could be that X factor. Maybe Andrew Bogut. Maybe Andrew Bogut doesn't get hurt. Maybe Draymond doesn't get suspended that one game. There's just a lot of things to be answered with this, and I don't think it will ever be answered. Would the franchise even take a risk on Curry, Thompson, and Green, and just try to sign free agents and stick to building around Millsap? We have no idea. We could just ask, what if, we could predict what will happen, but we would never know what would, actually happen. I think Paul Millsap, and I'm going to answer this. I think that the organization, I think they would still try to develop Curry and Thompson, all of them, just for the simple and easy reason, you have, if you're a team and you have young talent, you're either going to do two things. You're either going to ship off that young talent for some semi-young talent or some old talent that's still good, or you're going to develop that young talent. And most teams, they usually want to develop that young talent, so they can have them for years and years and years to come. And I think Paul Millsap, I don't think he would slow down Curry's development, especially since, Paul Millsap drafted in 2006, Curry drafted in 2009. Millsap would be in his third, fourth season, not even entering his prime yet. So I don't think he would have a development factor on Curry. I don't even think he would have a development factor on Klay Thompson, to be honest with you. But I do think he would have, a effect with Draymond, just for the simple fact they both play the power forward position, and we all know in the 2015 season, Draymond broke out as the defensive beast, the triple-double machine, as we know him to be. Would Draymond be a triple-double machine still? Would Draymond even get playing time? There's just a lot of questions to answer, and I think that with Paul Millsap, the Warriors would have three-peated. I think the Warriors would have even been a better dynasty than they already are. And I personally think that they would still, yes, I still believe this, I think they would still have enough cap space to sign Kevin Durant, And I say that because Paul Millsap, he does have no hefty contract, 15 to 20, million. But if you think about it, if guys like Draymond don't develop, and asking for more money, that would free up some space. I think they would still probably trade Harrison Barnes and Bogut to free up space to get Kevin Durant, and I think that would attract. If Kevin Durant was attracted by, a two-time MVP, one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, and Klay Thompson, and probably the league's best or one of the best all-around players in the league, Draymond Green, he would definitely come if they added another All-Star on top of that. And hope you liked the video, my second commentary ever. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. I know this is a long video, but hopefully you watched it all. And peace.